Spirituality versus Google and the brain. So,
Yeah.
okay. So this was another fun conversation. So Robin and I will just have these very long phone conversations, which for me, I am not a long phone conversation person, but with Robin, she's the exception.
As you might be
Um,
able to tell right now.
we'll get lost in these hold on, my making sure. Okay. We'll get lost in these conversations that are just very interesting to me. And so what happened was I would, as you do with friends, share about what's going on with my life and all the things. And I'd get stuck at certain points in my life or feel like I was repeating the same patterns or just, I'm like, here we go again. This is happening. I don't know if you remember, but like this had happened X amount of time ago, but whatever. And so you had said to me, well, why not treat your brain like Google, and it's like a floating question mark where you're not tied to, if you ask this question, like we were just talking about it before we pressed record, but if I feel like I'm experiencing, I'm not the most patient person. So this is an example. My inability to be super patient is something I know I'm never going to be this super patient person. I'm patient enough to change things that I want to change about myself and go through that process. But in terms of patience in timing of things happening or um, seeing results, wanting things to be linear, where I intellectually know that growth isn't linear, wanting to see it that way, I'm still going to bang my head against the wall and get frustrated with like, why isn't it happening sooner? And so you had said to me before we pressed record, um, instead of getting frustrated, I guess this is also getting off the wheel. Get off the wheel, be of the observer mind, and ask the question, what am I meant to learn from this? Or why am I still here? Like, what do you want? What am I meant to be teached? What do I need to learn to get to the next step? Right. So obviously I'm still here for a reason. What do I need to learn? And my sarcastic nature, as a side note, is that I would tease Robin and say, well, isn't that a spiritual question? Because you could say that you're asking the universe, you're asking God, you're asking, this higher whatever. And she's like, no, it's just how the brain works. So that's why I have that
Got
joke
it.
in there,
Got it.
spirituality versus Google and the brain. So yes, let's talk about the floating question mark, because I think that's a very useful skill when people are feeling like they're repeating habits or patterns, or the same thing keeps happening and they feel like they're going around the merry-go-round so fast and they just want to get off or they want to change course, as I've felt many times. Let's give them that tool.
Well, so this one has evolved over longer time because so the brain is really the most high powered computer. Like we have AI, we've created this alternative. Artificial is what A stands for, brain.
Yeah.
And it is a brain. They literally started it with, goo goo gaga. I mean, that's how it started. And now
Mm-hmm.
this is what it's become because it went through all the same stages of learning. Um, but our brain does all that inside of a 6-inch hunk of meat, right? We don't need cords and wires and all of that. We have it
Yeah.
internally. Um, the Where the floating question mark came from was we humans, people I've met, people like you that I've talked to, is we tend to answer our own questions. Let's go back to I'll do the mean thing. Why am I being mean to people? Well,
Mm-hmm.
because they're idiots, right? That's a very easy question to answer.
Right.
But allowing the question to land, and I call it let the question mark just float. Do not, because as soon as it's answered, the brain is a computer. When you open a circuit with a question, it's open until it finds the answer. You'll see the spinning clock window thing is spinning, spinning,
Mm-hmm.
spinning. The second I say, because they're idiots, the question is done.
Mm-hmm.
The circuit is closed. The command prompt is off. And no more thought will be given to that idea.
Mm-hmm.
The floating question mark allows the computer to keep looking for
Looking.
the answer, right? So what people do is, why am I this? Why am I not that? Why am I never this? Why does this never happen? Or why does this always happen? But when we say those things, we tend to answer them with our own negative, whatever our real answer is.
Right. That's our belief.
Yeah, it's
So
our
that's our
belief.
answer.
But what we
Right.
don't, what the reason it's kind of Google, what you were remembering there, part of I'm remembering more now because of what you said. There was a time back a while when you were like asking questions like, is this what God wants for me? Or is this what the universe wants me to do?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, and it's not that I don't believe much in some outside force.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell the audience what you believe. That's for you. I'm just,
Yeah,
it's a joke. It's an
but
inside joke.
it's that we have that power. If we abdicate that power to
Mm-hmm.
the universe or to God or to a dog or whoever,
Mm-hmm.
we're abdicating nonetheless. And this is a way to take that control and be like, what do I want? And
Mm-hmm.
those were my really first self changing lessons. Was I did not know every opinion I had was based on who I was with. So if I was with the no nukes people, then I was no nukes. If I was with the animal rights people, then I was animal rights. But none of these were my opinions. I
Mm-hmm.
literally I didn't have any opinions because I didn't know I should. I didn't understand it. I just didn't know. And so it came to a point where I literally had a pad of paper. I was probably 18, 19, 20. I wasn't young. And I just wrote, what do I think? What do I think about nuclear power? What do I think about? Like literally everything. And I began, and then I of course went overboard and became super opinionated.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the question, I didn't answer it because at that point, I just didn't know. So there
Mm-hmm.
really was no answer. So I learned it kind of by chance. But it was those question marks that were left open. And then I would hear a song and I would be like, and just some lyric or some refrain or a chorus or something. And I would be like, oh, and it's, and the brain is, as long as that question mark, as long as that circuit is open and the brain is in that thinking mode and the wheel is spinning, it, you don't even know. You could be in Kohl's or Home Depot and hear two people talking down another aisle and be like, oh, and your brain would go, that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the answer. And those moments are really magical
Yeah.
because you're really like, oh my God, my brain is working for me, not against me. Um, and I'm me, and I'm me, and I'm my brain. But our brain is I think of it as a separate being to us, to me, right? I always tell my parents, you have a kid, brain, and you have a kid. They're not the same.
Yeah.
The kid wants to cry and scream and kick and pull and do all that. The brain just wants people to like it. That's kind of, and it's still that way. We just want
Yeah.
people to like us, really.
Acceptance. I mean, that's the primal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So it's understanding, and again, it's a new habit pattern because if you check yourself, you will see we do it a lot. I hear people do it all the time. Oh, I don't know why they'll say it, or they'll say it as a sentence with a period. I don't know why I'm always so mean to people. You haven't activated the brain. There's no question there.
Mm-hmm.
So the brain's just waiting for something to do, right? Versus, why am I so mean to people? If you answer that because they're idiots, oh,
It's
okay, the brain's done again. But
right.
if you don't, if you find it to be true and you don't answer it, something will come along and you're going to be like, oh, because I see it in me or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't predict even predicting the answer stops the process of the brain seeking that answer. Even going, well, it's probably because I was bullied as a kid. Oh, okay. Then the brain's off. And it's really an on, off. The question mark is enter, search. And the answer is not like Google in that you won't get 1 million pages of information in 1 second, because our brain doesn't store information like that. But if you give it that time and you leave it and you continually ask it, wait, I never got, what is that? Why? And you repeat that question daily, every day. Let your brain know, I'm not done. We're not done yet. You still got work to do. You will come to a point where you know that's it. And it is truly an aha moment. And you can
Yeah.
make those aha moments by noticing and creating those floating question marks.